Nakashima. Nathaniel was born and raised in San Jose, California boy. When he first came to Stanford, my understanding is he thought he was going to be pre-med, but he discovered, as part of the breadth of his learning and teaching here at Stanford, that psychology offers a wide array of ways to help people. And this opened the door to new interests for him. For 3 years, he has been carrying out his own experiments on something he will explain to you, perhaps, called the duct syndrome. In asking, he has also been a social sciences editor for the Stanford Undergraduate Research Journal. He's worked for an iPhone application startup. Would this be Stanford without somebody working at a startup? My goodness. Played cello for 4 years in Stanford music ensembles. And as I asked around for people who know Nathaniel a little bit better than I do, what is it that really stands out? One message stood out from someone who'd worked with him. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but here goes. Who said, he's an awesome kid. If he stays in the field, he's going to kick some butt. So we really hope you do stay in the field. Nathaniel, please come on out.
Thank you, Dr. Wendell. My fellow undergraduates, we arrived at Stanford with many expectations. For instance, we thought we'd beat Cal at every big game, that Lake Log was an actual lake, and that we'd maintain perfect 4.0 GPAs. As we now know, things don't always go the way you expect them to. Truth be told, I never expected to become a psychology major. When I was a freshman, my heart was actually set on becoming a medical doctor. As I was learning how molecules interact to give life, however, I observed other interesting interactions occurring amongst my peers. Despite how difficult the courses were, nobody seemed stressed out. I saw students relaxing in the sun, splashing about in fountains, playing frisbee golf in the quad. And I thought to myself, maybe I'm the only one who has to work hard to do well. I later found out that I had been duped. Students were working hard, they just weren't showing it. On the farm, we call this duck syndrome. The analogy comes from a duck that calmly glides on the surface of a pond, but is actually paddling rigorously underneath it to stay afloat. I instantly became fascinated by how duck syndrome was affecting other students. Following my freshman year, I discontinued my journey on the path to becoming a medical doctor and took my first steps into the field that I have come to call my passion. Since then, I have conducted 2 of the first studies examining duck syndrome and its adverse effects on academic achievement with my advisor, Dr. Carol Dweck. We are all faced with defining moments in life that challenge our expectations. If I had never been exposed to duck syndrome and probed beneath the surface of this phenomenon, I might never have become a psychology major. I'm sure each of you have had similar defining moments during your time here at Stanford. But why is it important to reflect upon them? To answer that question, I invite you to come on a journey with me back 2 years. It's a warm spring afternoon as you walk into the basement of the psychology building and are greeted by the strong, familiar scent of curry. I don't think any of us will ever forget that smell. You enter Jordan 40 lecture hall and take a seat just as class is about to begin. It is here that I had the privilege of listening to one of the most insightful lectures I've ever heard. They're all wondering which one of them gave the lecture. I'll give you a hint. This professor explained that our existence, who we are, and why we are the way we are, is brought about by the dynamic process of mutual constitution by which culture and psyche make each other up. Don't worry, Dr. Hazel Marcus put it in simple terms. Your environment shapes you, and in turn, you shape your environment. I find this idea particularly appropriate for this occasion. How has Stanford shaped you? How has each defining moment during your time here contributed to who you are today? These questions are important to reflect upon because their answers influence how you will change the environment around you, how you will create tomorrow's defining moments. Remember that while you were born out of circumstances, your actions generate new opportunities and directions. Take ownership of your actions. Be conscious of the interaction between yourself and the environment, and recognize the importance of your role as an active participant. In the words of Dr. Marcus, never forget how powerful you are. As we reflect upon how our environment has shaped us and how we will in turn shape it, let us not forget those who supported us during our defining moments, those who wrote the tuition checks, who sent the care packages, who soothed us in our darkest hour, and who shared in the celebration of our successes and triumphs. Mom and Dad, family members, friends, and the distinguished faculty and staff members of the psychology department, we have come a long way in large part because of you. And from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for your love and support. To the graduating class of 2009, I congratulate you and look forward to seeing how you will shape the world of tomorrow. Thank you.